Chris Du started a YouTube channel that's generated millions of dollars, so I called him to ask him how he does it. He told me the things he wished he knew and he started to make money faster, revealed what is actually possible for you in terms of income, and what he said might just make you realize you're ready to do the same. But the thing that shocked me the most was when he revealed why he's abandoning a strategy that picked up almost 100 million views.
What would be the first 3 things that you did to sort of set you on the right path to generating $1 million?
There's this content triangle. If you can hit the content triangle, you can have your content be seen by more people. I'll refer to it as maybe your viral quotient. Obviously, you don't want to make a video on YouTube for only a few people to see it, because why be on YouTube in the first place? You want people to see your art, your concept, your educational material, whatever it is, and you want to inspire lots of people. It begins with one, what is your expertise? What are the things that you put a lot of time into studying, developing, and have put in your, what Malcolm Gladwell will call you, like your 10,000 hours of practice, so that you're really good at something? And if you have multiple areas, think about the overlap of those 2 things. For example, if you're a lawyer and you're also an aspiring architect, that might be the intersection between those 2 disciplines that make you really unique. That's your expertise. Ideally, if you're going to make content on YouTube, you should have some foundation of expertise or practice. It doesn't mean you have to be formally trained at this, but it does mean you need to put in the necessary work to develop and hone your craft. Number 2 is utility. What will be useful to my audience? In order to be able to answer that, you have to define your audience, who they are. You have to identify their pain points and challenges and figure out what is it that I can do to help ease the pain that they experience on a daily basis. This will be utility. It could be inspiration, it could be educational, it can be motivational. There's a lot of different things that you can do, but it has to provide utility to your audience, otherwise they won't watch it. Utility could be simply, you made me laugh today, and that's a good thing. The third thing, and this is the critical part, the part that I don't follow very often to my own dismay, which is to tap into trends. If you are able to do something that you're an expert at or have expertise in that provides a lot of utility for your audience, you'll get views. You might get tens, 100,000 views, but if you want to get millions or tens of millions of views, you have to tap into a trend. What is the world buzzing about today?
There are a lot of different ways for creators to make money online. From your experience, is there a best way to get from 0 to $1 million turnover?
I think there are many ways. I'm not sure there's the best way. I think it's like many buckets catching rain. The more buckets that you have, the more likely it is that the aggregate total of all that is going to add up to something substantial. The easiest way to make money as a YouTube creator, as a content creator, is to turn on AdSense, and then you don't have to do that much. However, you can design your content so that it appeals to higher advertising rates. So for example, we're kind of in the middle of the pack. I think we're about $11 CPM, which is what they pay you per 1,000 views. And that's not too bad, $11. But I know people who get $35, $40, they get paid that per 1,000 views. So they have an audience that's 1/5 our size, yet they generate as much or if not more ad revenue from the same kinds of videos. So a couple things are impacting this. They're creating content that appeals to people in the finance and the business sector. So I have a friend, his name is Hector Garcia. He's doing content to teach people how to use QuickBooks and accounting. So naturally, that's going to appeal towards companies who want to advertise to people who want to spend money, either growing their business or it's a much more business focused channel, because we're under a broader category of education. And sometimes we talk about design, sometimes we talk about marketing. It's a little bit harder for an advertiser to say, yes, I know the audience is worth a lot of money to me. And so therefore, when they bid the ads, it's not going to go that high. So design your channel to appeal towards an audience that is growing or spending money. Real estate, business, finance, those things tend to generate a lot more CPM. So last year, I think we made something around $350,000 in AdSense. Now, for some people, that's a lot of money. For us, it is a good amount of money, but it's not going to nearly cover the kind of expenses we're spending to produce content for the channel and how we can run our business. But it helps out a lot. Moving on from that, if you have brand deals where people are paying you anywhere between $10,000 to $15,000 to $60,000 to integrate their product and service into your content, you're going to do much better for yourself. Where brand deals make a lot of sense is if you're using those products or services. Let's say it's software, the software I normally use, or it's hardware. A camera manufacturer wanted to sponsor this show. I would say, great. I already have to love your product, or I'm going to need to love it before I agree to anything, because I'm putting my name on it. And I'm not going to sell my relationship with my audience for something I don't truly believe in. Oftentimes they can do an affiliate sales deal where they don't give you any money up front, but for every person who signs up, they might give you $25 or $100 or something like that. That's another way for you to make money. Moving on from that, you can probably start launching some kind of product that's going to be a natural extension of what it is that you do on YouTube. So if you have an educational product, if you have presets or color correction tools or templates or things like that, people watch your channel, they're like, love this. How can I get my hands on that? I want to save some time. So you can sell your own products either on your own platform or some third party where you make a little bit less, but you won't have to deal with any of the customer service. And then lastly, you can look at creating some kind of consulting service. So if you're a YouTube optimizer, people will watch your channel, they get a lot of value from that. They want to grow their channel. They can book you, hire you to do some consulting for them, and then you can do something like that.
You do consultancy services, you have mastermind groups, you've got digital products. If you had to pick just one to offer forever, from a business point of view, which one would it be and why?
It's a toss-up between two of our highest performing products. One is a group coaching community called the Future Pro. People pay us $150 a month to join. I just looked at the numbers recently. The lifetime of the products generated $1.6 billion in revenue. Currently, we're at 650 members who are paying us $150 a month. If you do the math, it's a significant amount of money. And it requires only for me to work 2 days a month. And those 2 days I work for 2 hours. So in total, I'm working 4 hours a month to generate that kind of revenue. There are a lot more things going on in there, but the core of it, that's the promise, is I'm going to show up twice a month and I'm going to do a 2-hour live coaching call with people and they're happy to join. And so if you could do something like that with a smaller community or maybe a few, whatever dollar amount that works for you and the value you want to deliver, I think that could be really good for you. So that's one. Number two, I run something called the Business Bootcamp. That's a $5,000 course. And our last enrollment, we had 50 people in it. So that's $250,000 in revenue. We see this group growing into like 100 students, but it's something I do live training with. It's 8 weeks long. It's not scalable because I can't do an infinite number of these.
You've been in the business for a while working with creators. What's the most inspiring success story that you've ever come across in terms of a creator building a business?
I'll tell you one that happened a couple days ago. Somebody just joined the Future Pro group. They're 3 days into it. They used to charge $500 for what they do. And they just told me they watched some of the videos that are part of this learning track called 100 to 100,000, which is our commitment this year to get 100 members to earn $100,000 this year. This person was just dipping their toes into a few of the videos, heard what they needed to hear, and was thinking about asking for $5,000 from the next client. And they said, to the hell with it, I'm going to ask for 10K. They said it, the other party paused, thought about it overnight, agreed to it. So they went from $500 to $10,000 in 3 days of being a member. And they just posted this testimonial right on our site. So we're going to be telling that story pretty soon.
You've been on YouTube for quite a while now, and recently you've switched a lot to using YouTube Shorts. They seem to be playing a big part in your channel. I know that you've mentioned on other interviews and on Twitter that they are growing the channel. What I wanted to know is, how are they impacting your kind of like sales funnel and business? Are you seeing them convert to business, those views?
It's hard for us to track YouTube audience and video views to actual revenue because we have almost 2 million subscribers to our YouTube channel. If each one of them gave me $1, I'd have $2 million every year. It's not even close to that. So what you're seeing is a massive drop off, and it's really super hard to track because our videos aren't designed as part of a funnel. Despite what a lot of critics and trolls might think, this is not one giant sales funnel. There are a couple of videos that we put out there that are meant to make you aware of our products and services, how we keep the lights on. But for the most part, it's just content, and I don't even tell people who I am. So what's happening with Shorts is it's got a really broad reach. It's showing our content to people who aren't even searching for it. It's hard to search for Shorts. You just either see it or you don't. You're at the mercy of the algorithm. So you're getting first-time people into your ecosystem, and depending on the video, they have no idea, no context of who you are and what you're trying to do. So those people might watch it, your subscriber count might go really high, but it's not actually them diving into the content. In fact, it's the people who show up for the longer format videos that I consider more of our audience. And so it's a combination of two different things. One is expansion of the audience potential and conversion into people watching the longer form content so that we can build a real relationship with them. When we started using Shorts and they started to hit, our channel got a massive boost of people tuning in. I want to put some things in perspective. It took us 2 years to get, I think, 10,000 subscribers to our YouTube channel, or maybe 20,000. We do those kind of numbers in a month. And in some days, will get as many subscribers that it took us 2 years to get in one day. And so for sure, it's growing the audience pretty fast. Now, it seems like based on the latest data that I have on my channel specifically, we're starting to see a return of our audience to longer format content. Because when we look at the top 10 highest performing videos in the last 28 days, it used to be dominated by shorts. And now it's more like 30% shorts, 70% long form content. And I think it's a signal, at least if I'm just looking at the tea leaves from YouTube, that shorts is not where they want to bank their future.
So it's going to be part of your ongoing strategy then, shorts, for the foreseeable future? Or are you going to go back to more long form?
I might be switching gears pretty soon. One of our highest performing videos on shorts for YouTube has 40 million views. Has barely made us any money at all. Whereas this live stream that I did from the show floor at Adobe Max 3 years ago, that's earned $32,000, which is kind of crazy. And the short that has 45 million views, I think it's made like 113.
So you tried shorts, unsure, going back to long form content for the future.
Yeah, I mean, I just go where the data tells me, right? So in the last 28 days, we just saw a massive shift from all shorts performing to like only 3 of the 10 performing. So it's probably a signal from YouTube and the algorithm that things are changing again.
There are so many ways for creators to make a living via YouTube and thrive, but in order to get there, you obviously have to build the following. And there are without doubt some ways to do this a lot faster than others. So if you really want to speed up your growth, watch this video next as a YouTuber reveals the secret to getting 500,000 subscribers in a year.